Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be adding the outworld to our ants, our meat ants. So just to recap, this is where our meat ants are up to at the moment. They're growing quite quickly. The colony is starting to get quite large. We probably have about 17 to 18 workers now since the last time, and our queen is hard at work with lots and lots of eggs. If we can just zoom in on those eggs just there, we can see how she's working really hard. So over here underneath we have our outworld, which we purchased this week. At the moment I have some sand at the bottom for our substruct, and I have some food in here ready for them. Just over here to the side I have a mealworm ready to go. We need to cut him up into little pieces because the ants are quite small and the colony is still quite young. So we're just going to put a bit of food in here. There's a lot of food in there because the ants are meat ants and the colony is getting quite large. So the trick to this is making sure that we can disconnect the food for the test tube, and then make sure that none escape, and then attach that onto here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the roof cover on here because I was working on that, so I took that off just so I could work on it rather quickly. So these are just bands that hold the top on. So these are quite straightforward. We just attach them like this. As we can see, there's 4 little ones there. Okay, last one now. We also have a little cover here, so at the end here I'll show you, but this cover just goes on like that, and this will prevent them from escaping. We also have, before we put the ants on because we can't see, you can see here there's like a white film, so that's anti-slip, so the ants will be able to climb up the side, but when they hit that white part there, they'll actually slide down, so they won't be able to get all the way out and then escape on us. It also helps us when we feed because we can take the lid off and then we can feed them and then put the lid back on. Okay, so the other thing that we're moving them into this outworld for is just here you'll see that there's a whole heap of water in here. It's so they have a water source because in their current vessel, in the current test tube, there's not too much water left. Okay, so I'm going to need to be a little bit quiet here because I don't want them to get too scared and escape, and we're going to try and move them into this new world so we can see them. I'll take this lid off so we can see. Is our camera ready? Sounds good. I got the thumbs up from our photographer here. Okay, so we're going to take this off. Like I said, I'm going to be a little bit quiet here because we do have a few at the end. I will continue to speak softly. And the thing is that if we vibrate too much, they will realize that something's going on and they'll start to tell all the other ants. Okay, we might have an opportunity here. Three, two, no, go back, Mrs. Go back, little worker. Sorry guys, we just need to be a bit patient here. This is exactly what it's like in the ant world. There's one very inquisitive ant. He knows something's, he or she knows something's going on. See how they're moving fast now? They know that something's not quite right. Okay, one's coming off. Okay, let's try and do this. Okay, we have it attached. Now you'll probably see some of them come out in a moment on the other end because it's all new to them and they're going to want to explore. So this part here is just so the test tube doesn't move. So now the test tube is secure and it won't move up and down. So see how the ants are all going pretty fast now? They can realise that something different is going on and something different has changed. So they'll all start to come out now and they'll start investigating what's called the outworld. So the test tube is known as their nest or their nest, and what you can see now is what's called the outworld. So they're exploring now, they're exploring their outworld. This ant is coming out, he's like, what's going on here? This is all new, and they're going to be running really fast. And they'll be also releasing a lot of pheromones. Now that one ant will go inside the test tube is going to tell all the other ants, hey, there's something new out here, something new, something new. And I'm telling you, within a few minutes, all the ants are going to start to come out. There you go. We've got 3, we've got 4, we've got 5. They're all starting to explore. This has actually gone quite smoothly. So now that one will go back in, the one that explored the most. Oh, the queen is starting to get interested now as well. That's quite unusual. We have one climbing up the wall here. I'm just going to observe what's going on. So the queen is now also got interested. Doesn't normally happen. She normally stays in the nest. We have one just at the top here, if you can see. Okay. So they will also find their food, and over time, as I start to feed them, they will start to realize that this place is where they get fed. So I'm just going to put their home in darkness, because this is the way it's always been, and then they will also realize that this part is where they eat and the other part is where they live. So this is pretty much all we have time for today. You'll see here that they're starting to eat. That little test tube there with all the food, they've found their food and they're starting to eat. And then the other idea is hopefully that they'll go down the second test tube and they'll find water in that second test tube. All right, so look, thank you everyone for watching. Please remember to subscribe. I'm glad I'm starting to get a lot of subscribers now, and in our last couple of videos we've had about 40 or 50 views. So I thank you very much for all your views and all your subscribing. Please continue to subscribe. I may not have any videos for a couple of weeks, but I will update everybody when I get back. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.